Let's take a look at the publish multi-files function. That is a function that's available in Advanced Skeleton under the Publish section. If you click on the Advanced checkbox, it opens an extra section here, and we'll see here it says Publish multi-files. So, to explain what this is and how it works, let's start by looking at the end result, and that is that you get a functionality where a character, like here we have the Blaze character that's been referenced in, as is the case when you're doing animation, and there is now a option here in the file menu that says replace. Currently there's two here, one's disabled. That's because it's the currently loaded file. Now there's another one available that says body only, and essentially it allows us for swapping out this character with another file which is the same character but body only, meaning no face rig. Now why would you want to do that? That would be for performance improvements. This character by default comes with a full body and face rig, which is great, but it is a lot of controllers and it does have an effect on the performance. So if we, for example, here grab the root controller, move it around, keep an eye on the lower right hand corner, frames per second, we're currently seeing that at around 11 frames per second. But if we were to use this function, just say replace with the body only version, then we can see the frame rate is increased to 18 frames per second. So we're getting much better performance without the face rig. And this can be done without losing any animation or any information. We can demonstrate that by quickly say we want to swap back to the full rig. And we can apply some quick animation on the face to show that even if you switch to the body rig, do some body animation, come back to the full rig, the face animation is still going to be there. Just set a couple of keys and move all the controllers. So from frame 0 to about 30, we have some very rough face animation there. And we can see that if we, at this point, just were to replace with the body only, that would give us the faster rig. Obviously, the face goes to the default. To do the body animation, we'll move him around a bit. So we have changed the body animation with the fast body only rig. And we want to combine now the new body animation with the face. All we have to do is go into this replace menu and replace it with the full version of the rig. And you can see there's the body animation, and that also have the previously made face animation in here. So let's take a look at the files involved in this process. So we'll clear out this scene, make a brand new scene. We'll go look in the folder. There you can see it's our demo folder and our current files. We'll clean this all out for now. I'm going to delete them all, so we're left with only Blaze MA. That's going to be our rig file. We're going to go ahead and open that. Let's first talk about what is just the basic publish in Advanced Skeleton. There's a button here with a question mark. That's the help image that explains some more the details. But a quick explanation is that publish essentially makes another version of your file that is intended to be the one to use for animation. Now the way it works here, if you were to hit publish, it's going to make another file, and that file is going to be the same as your working file, but with a MB extension, so a Maya binary file. Let's go ahead and test that. We hit publish, and we can see, yep, we got the MA and the MB. Reason why it's an MB, it's because, well, basically, it's good that your working file is an MA. That's very handy because you can open that in a text editor if need be, make any tweaks should you need that. However, Maya binary is beneficial for the fact that it's a smaller file size and it loads faster. And if you use that as your published file, you have the best of both worlds. So your working file is the Maya ASCII file, the published file is the Maya binary file. All right, so far so good. We're now going to look at how these files can be automatically generated. And that's basically in here. You can click add, brings up the menu. It allows us to give a name to this alternative file and a script to be published with it. By default, it's just going to be set to new, so you can enter any name You can think of this as a published layer with any script, or there's templates you can use here. One of them is body only. So if we choose that, you can see we're going to get a published file that's going to be called body only. The script that it's going to run is delete face and delete face group, and we hit OK. We now have that as an entry here. If you wanted to modify, you can just choose to edit it. So now that it's here, we're going to keep an eye on the folder here as we hit the publish button. And we can see we got the published file, and we also got the automatically generated body only file. And just to confirm that that works on the other side now, let's put on our animator hat, pretend we're an animator. Let's reference in Blaze. There he is, and we can look that in the replace menu, we now have the option that let's just swap to the body only. Okay, so far so good. Couple of other things. There is one example that comes here is low only. So that's assuming you have a low layer. Let's have a look at that. We'll reopen our original rig. And by default, it comes with this high display layer. Now you can fairly easily make a low version. There's several ways to do this in Advanced Skeleton. We can, for example, use this function called geometry skin cutup that cuts up geometry based upon skin weights. So we'll select the main mesh and cut this up based on the skin weights. And there we go. We got a version of the rig now, which is running much faster in the playback. And you can see the geometry has been cut up according to the weighting. And by default, that ends up on a layer called the cutup. We could rename this to low. And if we now jump back to our publish section, we can have a look that if we were to look at that template called low only, you can see the script here says select all the objects in the high layer and delete the high layer. So you're left with only the low layer. By the way, if you want to add something to as a custom script and you're not very comfortable with scripting, one fairly easy way to get the code for what you are looking for is that you go to Window General Editor's Script Editor, and then you do the action you want. Say, for example, you wanted a version published of this guy with, let's say, no hair. So deleting the hair. Let's do it. Let's select and delete it. And you can see in the script editor here that it now has those commands. So that would be the script to delete the hair. All right. That concludes this video about the publish multi-files. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.